ticket is waiting for you. Go to cbs.sportsline.com or America Online, enter keyword CBS Sportsline.
Welcome back to the road to the Final Four. Among our second set of games this afternoon, 10th seed Gonzaga takes on 7th seed Minnesota in the West region. Yesterday, the St. Paul Pioneer Press reported that Jan Gangelhoff, a former office manager in the academic counseling office at Minnesota, wrote papers, helped with take-home exams, and did other coursework for players from 1993 to 1998. Of immediate concern to the school, the eligibility of the 4 current players who Gangelhoff said she helped, including starters Miles Tarver and Kevin Clark and their teammates Antoine Broxy and Jason Stanford. Dr. McKinley Boston, the Vice President for Student Development and Athletics, and Mark Udoff, the President of the University of Minnesota, a short time ago had this to say about the allegations.
I spoke to Coach Haskins at length last night to discuss the allegations and the university's investigation to date. At that time, I advised Coach Haskins that the players would be declared ineligible pending the outcome of the investigation.
I think our position is very clear. We take this as serious, this is important, and we can imagine fairly draconian sanctions coming out if it turns out to be true.
So Tarver, Clark, Broxy, and Stanford will sit out of today's game against Gonzaga. And Clark, first of all, the timing is very strange, and secondly, the circumstances.
Unfortunate on both counts, but at the same time, it's a serious issue. And if these allegations do, in fact, prove to be true, then that's a serious problem for the University of Minnesota and college athletics. In the short term, the players will be able to respond and adjust to their game today because it gives them something else to focus on in terms of getting ready for Gonzaga.
And Clem Haskins says he has a team to coach. I will talk about it in detail once the tournament is over for the Minnesota Gophers. It's time for the first round to begin. Coming up, some of you will go to Indianapolis for the South Region's 8-9 matchup between Oklahoma State and Syracuse. The rest of you will head to Orlando for the game between Valparaiso and Maryland. Those of you slated to see UAB against Iowa in the West, we will get you out to the tip at 12:40. Hold on to your brackets, everyone. We're heading out of the driveway, about to turn down the road to the Final Four. Enjoy the games here on CBS.
CBS Sports, exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship, is sponsored by Oldsmobile. 10-10-220. Bud Light. And by First Union.
Start looking forward to the drive home. Stop commuting. Start driving. Introducing Alero. Alero by Oldsmobile. Start something.
In the financial world, nothing is permanent but change. The landscape is constantly shifting. Every day, companies are downsizing, seeking the right merger, looking for acquisitions that make sense. Even deceptively simple corrections like debt restructuring can take months and demand a variety of financial products. Today, companies searching for solutions in a changing world are finding them in a place of stability and experience. Come to the financial mountain called First Union. Or if you prefer, the mountain will come to you.
Nice seats. Watch this. Excuse me, sir. I trade you a Wendy's chicken nugget for your seat? Sure. This is more like it, man. I can do better.
Nuggets for your seats?
Sure.
Wendy's crispy chicken nuggets are irresistible pieces of all white meat that are crispy on the outside and juicy on the inside. Best yet, they're just 99 cents every day.
Sir, nuggets for your seat. How do you think I got here?
Don't forget the nuggets.
The LAPD's Dream Team hits the road to knock out big rig monsters.
I was almost trailer trash.
All new martial law, CBS Saturday.
Florida, 75 degrees and sunny outside the Orlando Arena. And inside, we're ready to tip off the road to the Final Four. Our first game, 15th seeded Valparaiso against the number 2 seeded Terrapins from Maryland. And the South region in Orlando, the 2 top seeds, Maryland a number 2 and St. John's a number 3. Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Orlando. I'm Gus Johnson along with Dan Bonner. And Dan, in our first game, not only do we get an opportunity to see one of the best teams in the country in Maryland, but also one of the best players.
Gus, and Steve Francis, we're not talking about just one of the best players, but one of the most exciting players. The Maryland Terrapin guard can shoot it, he can pass it, he can rebound it, he can steal it, but his game has such a flair. It's both entertaining for the fans and discouraging for the opposition.
As for Valpo, last year they were the darlings of the NCAA tournament out of the Mid-Continent Conference. This is their first round game against Ole Miss. The shot heard around the country. Bryce Drew, as they knocked off the Rebels, eventually advanced to the Sweet 16. Can they do it again? Is the magic back?
Gus, why not? The NCAA tournament has its own magic, and these guys have proven in the past that they can rub that bottle and get the genie to come out, so why not this year?
All right, for more on Valpo, let's go to the third member of our team, Barry Booker.
Thanks, Gus. I just got out of the Valparaiso locker room, and Coach Homer Drew invoked David and Goliath, and he's talking about respect. He's talking about getting the respect of people in this country, and that Valparaiso is going to start new memories today with this ball club. Back to you guys.
All right, Barry, a look at the starting lineup for Valpo. On the left, keep your eye on Luboš Barton, number 15. He's 18 years old, and he can really run the floor. For Maryland, Steve Francis is their best player, but LaRon Prophet and Terrence Morris also all ACC performers. The head coach for Maryland, Gary Williams, 10th year, has led Maryland to 6 straight NCAA tournaments. Last year, they lost to Arizona out in the West Regional semifinals. So the Terps come into this game 26-5, 13-3 in the ACC. As for Valpo, they were 23-8. They won the Mid-Continent Conference Tournament Championship as they defeated Oral Roberts and the officials, Ed Hightower, Frank Connerly, and Michael Saya. So what do you expect to see early on in this one?
Gus, Valpo is very big, much bigger than the Maryland Terrapins, and I expect Valpo to try to punch the ball inside and create some foul problems for Maryland. There's no secret what you're going to see from the Maryland Terrapins. They're going to press as soon as they get the opportunity, and they are going to get after Valpo the entire game. The Crusaders need to be able to hang on to the ball, or they could get run out of this one early.
Ivan Vujic, Terrence Morris jumping it up, and it's controlled by the Crusaders. This is Milo Stovall, a freshman from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Tonigal is the other guard.
Man-to-man for Maryland.
Stovall, guarded by Steve Francis. Tough job for a freshman. Stovall spinning inside, deals it off, and it's easily laid up. Zoran Viskovic, the senior from Croatia.
Stovall, the best athlete on this Valpo team, and he showed you his ability to get to the basket. He loves to penetrate and pass, and that's what he did that time. Valpo opens in the 2-3 zone.
Morris, 12-foot jump shot, no good, and it's batted back out to Stokes.
Boy, nice play by Prophet. They're going to have a hard time, are the Terrapins, with the bigger Valpo inside game.
Backside Francis goes baseline. Nice pass, and count the basket and the foul. And that's what he can do, make things happen on the floor for this Maryland team.
Yes, he was just a blur going along the baseline. Steve Francis with the left hand, exceedingly quick on the dribble. He just goes right by Barton out on the baseline. Nobody able to come and pick him up, and Terrence Morris has great hands on the inside, finishes the three-point play.
Terrence Morris, a sophomore from Frederick, Maryland. First team All-ACC. He averages 15 points per game. Steve Francis averages 17.
Maryland backed off on the pressure that time, Gus. They were able to set the three-point pressure, but they backed off. And there you see, you might say, well, that's an unforced turnover. Well, not really. Maryland pressure in the basketball is what makes that happen.
For the Terps, the number 2 seed is the highest seed for them in their school's history. Morris trapped inside. Francis frees himself. They reverse it. Profit across the lane, jump stop. Nice look inside to Baxter, and he's fouled.
That is great ball movement. And Lonnie Baxter, the freshman, is a guy who's really been asked to step up his game since the injury to Obina Akizi. Akizi, Maryland senior starting center, ruptured his Achilles tendon, and Baxter from Silver Spring was asked to come into the lineup as the starting center. He has done an outstanding job. Teams with Mike Martisich off the bench to give Maryland a very effective center combination.
Misses the first free throw. Akizi was averaging 12 points and 6 rebounds per game, and Baxter, his numbers not bad, 6 points. And he's pulling down 3.5 boards per game. Got the second free throw to go. And here's the full court pressure by the Terrapins.
Nice job by Valpo to keep the ball out of the corners, Gus, when Maryland really wants to trap you. Try to keep the ball in the middle of the floor against this pressure.
Tonigal. Viskovic hands it to Lubos Barton, the freshman from the Czech Republic. Inside, Buic, jump hook, rolls off. Viskovic with the rebound and stick back.
Seen Viskovic inside twice already, Gus. Viskovic at 6'11", much taller than the Maryland Terrapins.
Viskovic, the only returning starter from last year's Sweet 16 team, and he is the only senior on the starting 5. And a foul inside. Barton with the foul, his second. Now, for those of you expecting to see UAB and Iowa, we'll get you out to that game shortly. You will be kept up to date on the progress of this game with scoring reports and highlights. So at the free throw line, Baxter once again. The first one goes. He played at Anacostia High School in D.C. for Thomas Hargrove. And Anacostia, always one of the top teams in the Washington, D.C. area. Second free throw good. 6-4 Terrapins.
Gus, and a problem for Valpo. Lubos Barton with 2 personal fouls. Francis picks up the aggressive foul right there. That's something that Maryland does. They try to pressure you and they get those fouls.
First foul on Francis.
But Maryland has done a nice job on the offensive end attacking inside thus far, Gus, and they have gotten Barton in foul trouble, so Barton's going to have to be real careful. Doesn't want to pick up that 3rd foul early.
So Lubos Barton, Viskovic, Milo Stovall, Greg Tonigal, and Ivan Vujic on the court for Valpo in yellow. Vujic, and he's bumped.
He stepped on the end line, or the sideline there. Guys, you know, one thing that Maryland does very well, they get 3 or 4 steals a game when they press a team on the out-of-bounds play on the side, and they did it again right there.
Valpo back into the zone. Baxter.
Maryland really looking for ball movement, trying to move the ball from side to side against that zone. They've done a nice job getting it inside.
And the ball tipped in by Terrence Morris. Crashing the backside, and Maryland takes a 4-point lead. 17:22 to go here in the first half. Nice ball movement. Buick didn't run, but he traveled.
Gus, this is what the pressure does to you. Good passing by Valpo out of the pressure, but Vujic just in too big a hurry once he gets that ball. Knows that there's other guys coming, tries to go to the basket and travels. 3rd
turnover of the game for the Crusaders. Maryland generally forces 22 per game. Francis for 3, and it's good. Steve Francis. And the Terps up 11-4.
He's showing you a lot of his game here early.
Valpo, they break the press down low, and a nice looking play. Lubos Barton, 18 years old, from the Czech Republic. His parents are educators there. A steal by Viskovic. Barton on the move. Barton down the lane.
Oh, nice play. LaRon Prophet just lost him in transition, Gus. And of all the guys for Valpo to lose, you don't want to lose Barton, and there's Vujic with a nice hustle play.
So with 16-18 to go in the first half, 11-8 Maryland.
Number 15, Danny
One of the cardinal rules of basketball is you've got to stop the ball, Gus, and nobody does. LaRon Profit just sort of gives it the Olay as he goes past, and Barton able to get all the way to the basket.
Morris feeds it. Down low, Morris got it back. Missed the jam, but laid it up and in.
Gus, that tells you something about Terrence Morris. Missed the jam, but then great hands, just catches it and flips the ball back up in.
Maryland now three-quarter court pressure. Broken easily by the Crusaders. Conagle.
Maryland stays in the man-to-man.
Knocked away, backside by Morris. Francis down the lane, wheels, nice look. Morris off the glass, won't go. Viskovich with the board.
Gus, Maryland is a team that really likes to get out and run in transition, but sometimes they don't execute real well in their transition game, and that was an example of it right there. That's 2 points that they should have really had.
Stovall pull up three, and it rattles down. Valpo.
They're doing a great job hanging in this game.
13-11.
Looked like Maryland was maybe going to run away, but Valpo with a couple of steals and now some key baskets.
They get right back in the 2-3 zone. Danny Miller in the game for Maryland, number 15. Stokes, Morris dumps it down. Miller blocked, but he's fouled.
Gus, Valpo does a great job inside blocking shots, but with ball movement and penetration, you get those defenders out of position, and when a guy has to step to the ball, Viskovich has to come all the way across and step to the ball, and oftentimes that creates fouling situations. Miller able to draw the foul there.
And the foul on Viskovich is first. Fourth team foul against Valpo. And Danny Miller, a freshman from Mount Holly, New Jersey, plays about 14 minutes a game. And he's a 50% free throw shooter. Second one is good. 14 minutes, 51 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Maryland on top of Valpo, 14-11.
Sorry. Not enough. No, still short.
For the great taste that will fill you up and never let you down.
Paper or plastic? Paper.
Make it a Bud Light.
Guys, need a receipt?
Hey, buddy. Yeah. How come you're always raking it in?
Secret to my success is keeping a clean cab and telling people to dial 10-10-220.
What?
Yeah. All calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents all day, every day.
99 cents? I find more than that in the seats. Well, what if I talk over 20 minutes?
Just 10 cents for each extra minute.
Do you mind if I tell people about this 10-10-220?
Go get him, Tiger. Yeah. Rookies.
Dial 10-10-220.
Start. Feeling connected. Stop feeling everything. Start feeling the road. Introducing Alero, featuring the active response system. 16 individual features working together to connect you to the road. Alero by Oldsmobile. Start something.
Mr. Kegler's class at Maxwell Middle School is measuring saguaro cacti.
Saguaros pick up a lot of water during the rainy season. We're going to see if the circumference changes through the course of the year.
They're graphing their findings with Microsoft Excel.
Sometimes you get the results you expected, sometimes you don't.
These kids are learning that they can use technology to understand the world.
Science is life, actually. I don't know how to reduce it from that.
Dave's racking up the points.
You could cut the electricity with a knife.
March Madness hits the Late Show. Tune in and give it a shot.
Under 15 to go in the first half of play. Maryland up 14-11. Homer Drew in the middle of that pack on the Valpo bench. We asked him before the game if the magic is back for his team.
It's a win-win situation, I've explained to our team.
There's been only 3 teams in the history of the NCAA seeded 15th to upset a number 2 seed. So if we could play that magical game of our career, it could happen.
Right now, though, they're in pretty good shape.
They are in pretty good shape because they've been able to cut off the Maryland transition game, Gus. They haven't turned the ball over in situations where Maryland can score, and there they turn it over, but it's not a transition turnover. Maryland doesn't get a fast break.
Now, for those of you expecting to see UAB and Iowa, we'll get you out to that game shortly. You will be kept up to date on the progress of this game with scoring reports and highlights.
Maryland actually, Gus, has done their best work on the inside. Second chance points. Maryland has 7 already in the game.
Maryland 4 of 8 from the field. Cross court, Francis, rise and fire for 3. It's short. Loose ball tapped to Morris. Morris turns. Inside, Martisic, and he banks it hard off the glass.
Gus, that's just what we were talking about. Maryland wearing out Valpo on the offensive boards, and you would like that.
And a steal. Miller.
And Homer Drew's calling timeout right away, Gus. He does not want to see that. Maryland working the offensive boards, and then Miller, who was just entered into the game, does a great job coming with the steal.
So with Maryland leading at 18-11, Emmy Award winner John Larroquette returns to television as a Royal Pain, an innkeeper with an attitude. Don't miss the series premiere of Pain Monday after Raymond on CBS. 6 turnovers for Valparaiso. Maryland's turned it over only 1 time, and the Terps lead at 18-11.
The key to that last turnover, though, Gus, was that it was the steal. Maryland 402 steals on the year coming in. School record, led the ACC this year. They like to steal the ball from you and run down and convert easy baskets.
Torrance Price in the game at the other guard for Valpo, along with Milo Stovall, who has the ball right now.
And Maryland drops back into the man-to-man.
Jenkins, 16 to shoot.
Against this defense, Valpo would really like to get the ball inside the Viscovich.
Clark off the dribble, inside, and throws it out of bounds.
Outstanding pressure defense by Maryland, Gus, making it very difficult for Valpo to get a good look at the basket. Valpo 5 of 6 shooting, but they've turned the ball over 7 times, so they haven't had that many opportunities.
Francis backdoor, Miller, nice catch, and he banks it off of Viscovich, heading out of bounds, so a smart play by the freshman.
Gus, Viscovich is not even looking at the basketball. When you're playing in a zone defense, you better know where the basketball is, but Viscovich not even looking. He turns, looks at Miller. Miller takes the ball right off Viscovich's head and then throws it off his back. Nice play. And now we've got an issue with the shot clock. The shot clock was reset to 35, and of course Maryland never lost possession, so now they stick it back to 27.
Stokes inbounding. He's the senior point guard from Philadelphia. All knocked out of bounds. We stay right here. So Stokes, Francis, Morris, Miller, and Martisic on the court for the Terps.
Valpo drops back into the 2-3 zone.
Morris, hesitation, down the lane. Nice looking play. Largest lead of the game for Maryland, 20-11. They forced 7 turnovers so far in this game.
Gus, and that's been the key thus far. Maryland has been able to force Valpo to turn it over. Valpo hasn't been able to get very many shots at the basket, and Maryland just stretching out the lead, although Jenkins cuts into it right there.
Jason Jenkins with the runner. 12:41 to go in the first half. Stokes for 3. Terrell Stokes, not known for his offensive game, but he can stick threes when they need it.
Gus, he doesn't shoot the 3 very often, but he usually makes them at key times. He can be a very, very good shooter.
23-13. First ever meeting between these two schools. Valpo last year advancing to the Sweet 16, knocking off Ole Miss. Inside, nice looking play by Viscovich.
And that's where Valpo has an advantage. They haven't gone in there to Viscovich very much because Maryland's defense against the ball, the pressure on the outside, has limited their looks inside. But if they can set up the half-court game and get it in there, they can hang in.
Also, they knocked off Florida State before losing to Rhode Island. Terps turn it over, and Tonigal sets up the offense. Viscovich, 17-footer, and he's got 8.
Boy, he's having a fine game early, and you would expect that from your senior. This is the only key guy left from last year's Sweet 16 team.
He's 4 of 4 from the field. 23-17 Maryland. Now Steve Francis can play the off guard or the point. Running the point right now. Martisic back to Francis, to the bucket, and lays it up and in.
Gus Valpo switched to the man-to-man that time, and Steve Francis doing a nice job finding the good lane to the basket.
11:13 to go, first half of play. 25-17 Maryland.
I'm sitting across from a person who's getting ready to write a large sum of money for an automobile, and I've purchased vehicles before, and I know exactly what they're going through. It can be nerve-wracking. The no-hassle, no-haggle price allows Saturn to be so much at ease with the customer and allows us to treat everyone so fair. It really doesn't matter whether you do a short-term lease, a long-term lease, short-term financing, long-term financing, or cash. Once you're in the Saturn family, you're in the Saturn family. I am going to see this person again. You see them at the supermarket, and you see them in a restaurant, so we want to make sure they are completely comfortable with the entire process.
We've got a level 9. Quarantine it all. It's all hot. Take it away.
This year, the Old Farmer's Almanac predicts 50 inches of rain. Is your rent-a-car company ready for that?
Not exactly!
And 40 inches of sleet and snow. Are they ready for that?
Not exactly!
Hertz has a more comfortable way to return your car. The Hertz Return Center, where you're protected from the weather all the way to the terminal. Does your company do that?
Not exactly!
Give me the ball. I want a chunk one.
Dunk one.
Whatever. Hey, no laces.
The King of Queens. Catch the Fever, CBS Monday.
They call me Cherry.
25-17, Maryland leading Valpo. 11:13 remaining in the first half. And a look at the data bank.
Gus, we heard Homer Drew say that only 3 number 15 seeds have ever beaten number 2 seeds. Who were they? Well, Coppin State over South Carolina, Santa Clara, and Richmond, and I guarantee you, in all those places, they still remember those wins.
Bang Mitchell, the coach of Coppin State, when they knocked off Eddie Fogler's South Carolina team. Valpo trying to do it today. Down 25-17. To the Terps out of the ACC. Cross-court, Terrence Price. Jenkins, nice look. And
Gus, Valpo is now 9 of 10 shooting the basketball. Their problem has been the turnovers. They just haven't had as many shots as Maryland, and that's an offensive foul.
Baxter, the freshman, on the block, trying to make space for himself. Valpo down by 5. Largest lead so far, 10 for Maryland.
Gus, when you play a team like Maryland, you are going to turn the ball over. You just can't avoid it. You want to try to avoid the turnovers where Maryland gets easy baskets as a result.
For non-stop tournament action with live scores and updated brackets in the tournament tracker, Go to cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online, enter keyword CBS Sportsline. Marko Punda in the game. Also a Croatian, the cousin of Tony Kukoc. Plays for the Chicago Bulls. And a jump shot by Jenkins is good. And that's another three. 2 straight threes for him. He's got 8. And Maryland up now 25-23.
Jenkins' hero is Larry Bird, and he looked like Larry Bird in those last 2 shots.
And a turnover. And Valpo, they are on fire from the perimeter, 10 of 11. Maryland not shooting poorly either. They're 9 of 15.
Gus, the problem for Valpo is they've shot 10 of 11, and they're still behind by 2 points. Homer Drew is encouraged that they're in the ball game, but they cannot expect to shoot that well throughout the entire game. Maryland making some mistakes here recently with some turnovers and fouls.
Vujic kicks it out. Marko Punda. Short, got his own rebound. And Morris snatches it out of the air. Steve Francis on the break. Profit.
And that is Maryland basketball. You've got to get back and force those guys outside. You cannot let Profit catch the ball in transition and go to the basket, because he finishes as well as anyone in the country.
Terrence Price at the point now with Stovall. Jenkins, Vujic, and Marko Punda for Valpo.
Maryland trying to turn up the defensive pressure in the man-to-man, Gus.
Jenkins across the lane, 8 to shoot. Price cuts inside, block. Francis in a hurry, crosses over. Morris, and it rattles out. Great pass! Great pass from Francis.
It was a heck of a rebound, too, Gus. He caught that ball and passed it all in one motion while he was falling down. Gus, we said Steve Francis can rebound and he can pass. We didn't know he could do all in the same time. What a great play. Francis, that ball just comes down to him. Valpo not doing a good job of getting their hands on the ball and pulling down the rebound. Vujic loses it. Francis, what great hands, what great instincts to get the ball to Martisic for the basket.
Steve Francis from Tacoma Park, Maryland, went to 2 or 3 different high schools. Also went to 2 junior colleges before settling on Maryland. San Jacinto and Allegheny. Viskovich jump hook. Barton. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Valpo.
Gus, this game has sort of been the size of Valpo matched up against the quickness of Maryland. And interestingly enough, we've seen Maryland's quickness more on the boards than we have with their trapping defense. That quickness really bothering Valpo, as Maryland has done a great job on the offensive board. 6 offensive rebounds already for the Terps.
And Morris in the corner. Terrence Morris with 12 first-half points. Viskovich deals it down. Vujic, great reverse layup. Holy mackerel. Nice looking play.
Very mobile, Vujic, and he really has a nice, he does a nice job with both hands around the basket.
Martisic. Rebounded by Luboš Barton. Valpo on the move. Stovall, the trailer. Stovall winds up for 3. And it's rebounded by Profit. Maryland breaks out. And a reach-in foul.
Yes, actually, that's not a bad foul by Stovall, because if Profit gets by him, Maryland has a 2-on-1, and the 2 are Profit and Francis, and the rim may come down if those guys get down close to the basket.
7:35 to go in the first half of play. The Terrapins lead it 31-25.
A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS Sports.
When Diane initially came into the office, her time horizon for investing her money was rather short term. It was right after
college. I was going to turn over the money pretty quickly to pay for graduate school.
Since then, her objective has changed.
I've always had this kind of long-term goal in mind, which is starting my own business.
But that means actually invest more aggressively because her time horizon had lengthened. She knows herself. She knows her goals. She knows her tolerance for risk. She's learned about the tools that Schwab has to assist her in meeting those goals.
How do I look? How do I look? How do I look?
Very good. I must say, I'm amazed.
I am a very stylish girl.
The new Volvo S80. My goodness.
A very stylish girl.
Businesses trust us to deliver more packages than ever in 2 to 3 days. Priority Mail.
Businesses trust us to deliver more packages than ever to every address and post office box in the U.S. Priority Mail.
Businesses trust us to deliver more packages than ever for a very low price. Just $3.20. Priority Mail.
So, what's your priority?
Give it up. Your Colonel's got the moves this NCAA season, because my popcorn chicken's back at KFC. Crunchy morsels of tender white meat. Try some for $1.99. Go Colonel, go Colonel. The Colonel, he the man.
Mom's calling Enterprise Rent-A-Car because our car is sick.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up,
Wow!
drive you to our place, and get you on your way.
Everybody loves to be picked up.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Greg Gumbel and Clark Kellogg in New York. Maryland on top of Valparaiso, 31-25. We'll keep you updated on the progress of that game at the bottom of your screen and tell you what's happening first at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis. Oklahoma State and Syracuse. Syracuse in the white, Oklahoma State in the dark jerseys, Clark.
Oklahoma State, Greg, loves to shoot the three-point shot. So far, they've made 4 of 6, and Adrian Peterson has knocked down 3. Syracuse has struggled all season long scoring the basketball, and I think part of the reason is they forget about Etan Thomas. Throw it in there to the big fella, play inside out.
You mentioned Syracuse struggling, 4 of 13 in field goals and now 4 out of 14 from the floor. That's no way to get the tournament off on the good foot.
Well, anytime you get 1 point blank range, you need to put it in the hole like that. In transition, the hoop and the foul. No, they aren't going to get in the basket. Looks like the foul was called before the shot went down.
Oklahoma State, the number 9 seed, coming into the tournament at 22-10. Syracuse at 21-11. And there you get a glimpse of Coach Eddie Sutton, who turns 63 years of age tomorrow. Meanwhile, at the McNichols Sports Arena in Denver, first-round action in the West between Alabama-Birmingham Blazers, the number 12 seed, and the number 5 Iowa Hawkeyes, who started this game without their leading scorer.
This is one of those ideal 5-12 matchups that I think a lot of people highlighted on their bracket. Iowa's a team that looks to wear you down with relentless pressure. Tom Davis will play anywhere from 8 to 10 players, and he throws them in waves, and they hope to wear UAB down over the course of this ball game.
Dean Oliver is the leading scorer for the Hawkeyes, who did not start in this game. Iowa is wearing white and UAB in dark green. He had a virus coming in, didn't start, but has entered the game and has played.
Well, he's the guy that kind of makes Iowa go from an offensive and defensive standpoint. He's an excellent ball handler, really looks to push it in transition, and he's the first line of defense in pressuring the ball in that vaunted Iowa pressure.
For Iowa, Jeff Settle's getting the job done thus far. 2 3-pointers, 6 points on the day.
Oh, you better tag him. That's Kent McCausland. You've got to mark him one of the nation's best 3-point shooters.
Meanwhile, let's get you back to the South. First-round game in Orlando. Valparaiso and Maryland doing battle. Let's rejoin Gus Johnson and Dan Bonner.
6:34 to go in the first half of play. Maryland on top 33-27. And Valparaiso, they have been able to hit 3-point field goals to stay into this game, but they're getting a great game from Viskovich, who has 10 already.
Viskovich has been very good inside when they have been able to get him the ball. The story of this game really is the fact that Maryland has rebounded the ball so well on the offensive boards, and they haven't really been able to get out in transition.
Steve Francis with 5 points. Morris has 11. For the Terps, 13-3 in the ACC. They're a number 2 seed, the highest seed for them in the school's history. Martisic. Morris dumps it down. Martisic fouled from behind. Now the bracket in the South region here in Orlando, Florida. Maryland, Valpo, and they take Louisville, Creighton will follow us. Indiana, George Washington, and St. John's, Samford. So Lubosh Barton gets his 3rd foul.
And he is the leading scorer for the Crusaders, and that 3rd foul here with 5:43 left in the first half is a big blow to Valpo. You can see the expression on his face as he was standing at the line. He is very discouraged, but Maryland has gotten him in foul trouble by attacking inside against the Valpo zone. Viskovich has 2 fouls as well.
Second free throw, no good for Martisic, rebounded by Jenkins. So Stovall, Jenkins, Tonigal, Viskovich, and Kunda on the court for Valpo. And a steal, Profit, all by himself.
Gus, we talked about Maryland and what they want to do is take the ball from you and run down and score. That's twice now in this first half that Maryland has been able to steal it and go down and get a layup.
Marco Kunda popping out, approaching the 5-minute mark. Stovall, Jenkins for 3, short. Kunda kicks it out. Tonigal down the lane, and he knocked down the runner.
Boy, that was a nice play by Tonigal, Gus. His job is supposedly to steady the tempo, and they needed some steadying right there as Maryland once again looked to be on the verge of an explosion.
Stokes, Francis, Morris, Martisic, and Profit on the court for Maryland.
Man-to-man for Valpo this time.
Martisic short, into the hands of Jenkins.
That was a good play by Maryland to go inside. Viskovich does have those 2 personal fouls. He could not be very aggressive defensively, but Martisic lost the handle.
Largest lead of the game for the Terrapins, 10 points. Valpo hanging around. Stovall. 13 to shoot. Tonigal. 8 to shoot. Stovall. And into the hands of Tonigal for 3, and he buried it.
Gus, he has scored 5 points in a row, and they may have been the biggest 5 points of the game for Valpo. They're right back in this ball game.
Down by 3. Tonigal, a freshman from LaPorte, Indiana, shoots 33% from the arc on the season. Morris wheeling, and a foul on the floor. So Jenkins picking up his first foul. And substitutions coming into the game for both teams.
Homer Drew has done a nice job switching his defenses for the Crusaders to try to keep Maryland off balance, but they're going to have a hard time, and I'm talking about Valpo, guarding Maryland when they play man-to-man. Morris taking advantage of his quickness and drawing that foul.
So Juan Dixon, a freshman from Baltimore in the game, along with Brian Watkins, number 45. For Maryland. And the Terps with the ball again on the missed free throw. Francis hops to the basket. What an athlete.
He has got a great vertical leap, Gus, and he showed you there his power on his leap.
Looking for the steal. Stovall protects the basketball. Stovall to the basket. Ron Dixon with the rebound. And a foul.
Stovall's second foul. Foul problem starting to add up for Valpo.
And when you're a guy like Milo Stovall, you can't take anything personally that's happening on the floor. It's not a one-on-one duel, especially against a great player like Steve Francis.
Gus, if Valpo gets into any one-on-one duels, they are in deep trouble because this Maryland team extremely talented both on an individual and team basis.
So Juan Dixon, the freshman from Calvert Hall High School in Baltimore, And Gary Williams says this kid is a great shooter. Compares him to Walt Williams as he misses the second but gets the rebound.
Gus, and that's been the story of the first half. Maryland has not been able to create the kind of transition game that they want, but Maryland has scored 12 second chance points with their offensive rebound, and that's a walk.
.250 to go in the first half of play. Terps leading the Crusaders 38-32.
We don't build commuter cars or get you to work fast pinstriped cars. We don't build cars, period. We build the 205 horsepower, get out of town fast Isuzu Rodeo. Because there's more to life than the daily commute.
That's one race that I wish I could run over one more time.
The legendary Daytona 500 has broken a lot of hearts.
I was way out front in 1981, and that thing ran out of gas.
In 74, I blew a tire with 12 laps to go.
But the biggest heartbreak of all would be trying to get into Daytona International Speedway using an American Express card. So if you want to enjoy the heart-pounding excitement of Daytona, bring your Visa card, official card of NASCAR.
My girlfriend let me here at Daytona. I sure miss that car.
New York, the Big Apple. Hey, you guys think you got game? You got nothing. Home of the #1 world champion. Biggest and the baddest police. Ah, you ain't got nothing. You call that a squeegee? You call that a kiss? I'm gonna be late. Get a hotel room.
Ever wonder why New Yorkers have such big mouths?
You got nothing.
Because we eat big pizza, like the big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. 16 inches of real New York pizza dripping with cheese at a very un-New York price.
$9.99. What do you think this is, Indiana?
The big New Yorker, new from Pizza Hut. It's beautiful.
The executives are at the gate. Around the first turn. That's Bill Williams leading Miss Kelly Mack on the outside. And Jane Carlson. As they pass the car rental counters, Kelly Mack has to stop to fill out paperwork. Now it's Jane Carlson and Bill Williams neck and neck. Bill has to leave the airport to get his car, but Jane's car is right there at Hertz #1 Club Gold. The trunk is open. The keys are in it. It's Jane Carlson and Hertz #1 Club Gold. Exactly.
Hi, I'm Craig Kilborn. I have a new show on CBS. You want to know why? Because I know diversity is our strength.
Starts March 30th after Letterman.
Look at the game summary. Second chance points really big for Maryland.
Gus, that's the key stat of the game right there. 12-2. Maryland really able to dominate on the inside, and you wouldn't expect that because Valpo with the advantage both in height and in bulk on the inside, but the Terrapins have utilized their quickness. Quick jumpers, quick to the basket, and Valpo has really had problems, particularly when the Crusaders have played the zone. They have not been able to block out very successfully.
Diamond pressure by Maryland, stolen away by Profit. Profit picked Tonigal. Maryland with a chance to add to their lead. Francis splits the defense, lost it right into the hands of Morris.
Gus, we've seen some spectacular plays thus far from Steve Francis, but that time he really did. He just lost the basketball. Good fortune for Maryland that time.
And Terrence Morris, what a game he's having. 13 points in the first half of play, and the Terps lead it 40-32.
Morris is a young man that hasn't been playing well in the last couple of games, Gus. Morris, a shy young man who doesn't really talk very much. In fact, the joke at Maryland was finally when he came back this year for his sophomore season, he talked to his teammates. But he has gotten an awful lot of attention the last couple of weeks. Being named first-team All-ACC is a big deal. And he has sort of drawn back from that attention. Did not play well in the ACC tournament. I'm sure Gary Williams is very enthused to see his young big man playing so well today.
And when they say he talked to his teammates, basically the conversation went, hello, how are you? And that's it for the rest of the day. Very shy and quiet, as you mentioned. So Valpo back with the basketball. Stovall, Hunda in the backcourt. They almost turned it over, and a whistle and foul.
Gus, they almost did turn over. You don't want to play around with that mid-court line, but the rule is that both the ball and both feet of the player have to be across into the front court before you can have a backcourt violation. That wasn't the case there. And Maryland in this pressure, Gus, has committed an awful lot of fouls, and so they're going to let Valpo try to hang in the game now from the free throw line.
Maryland over the limit, so 1-1 for Milo Stovall. Don't forget 10 team fouls equals the double bonus and 2 automatic shots. Stovall from Kalamazoo. First free throw does not go for it.
Boy, and you're going to need to make those kind of shots if you expect to spring the upset. And Stovall's a 79% free throw shooter.
Inside, turnaround jump shot good for Brian Watkins, the senior from Nashville, Tennessee, and the Notre Dame transfer.
Maryland has gotten some nice play off their bench in the first half, and now they've stretched that lead back out to 10. Let's see if Valpo has another answer.
Matching their largest lead of the game. Viskovich, partially blocked into the hands of Punda, and he blew the chippy.
Oh, good outlet pass.
Francis, lob, great play, drop it, tomahawks it down.
And there may not be a better team in the country, Gus, when they throw the ball up on the fast break. Those Maryland guys can just go up and get it.
1:18 to go in the first half. 44-32, largest lead of the game for Maryland.
And now the Maryland defense, Gus, it looks like they're in a feeding frenzy. They've really picked up the intensity.
Bounce pass, Viskovich puts it on the floor, off the glass, no good, and last touch by the Terps.
Gus, you get in transition and everybody's looking at the basket. LaRon Profit running the court. What a fantastic play to reach way behind. This is actually not a very good pass. Profit has to reach way behind and knock it down.
Now coming up on Pennzoil at the half, Greg Gumbel and Clark Kellogg will get you updated on all the tournament news, all the scores and highlights, plus live look-ins at all the action going on in the NCAA tournament. Tonigal tracks it down in the backcourt. Dixon right with them, runs into a screen.
And that was a major league screen right there.
And a foul on the wing, Profit reaching in.
Gus, and you want to know how much Homer Drew thinks this game is slipping away? Luboš Barton is back in the game with 3 personal fouls with 47.5 seconds remaining in the first half. This Maryland scoring run has really pushed Valpo right to the edge.
And Luboš Barton, the Maryland coaches compare him to Jesse Kavicius, who they had on this team last year. He was a Lithuanian-born player. Barton from the Czech Republic. First free throw is good, but they say both players are very crafty and able to run the floor and make those nice no-look passes.
Barton also, he's a good three-point shooter, but he also has a nice in-between game. He's got that mid-range jump shot. You go out and defend the three. He can put it on the deck because he's got pretty good quickness and hit the in-between jumper. Now he's going to go back out of the game. Homer Drew a gambler, but not that much of a gambler
there. 10-point lead once again for Maryland. Miller pops out, pull-up jump shot, 14-footer. Strong. Francis with the rebound and stick back.
9 offensive rebounds, Gus, in the first half for Maryland. 14 second chance points. That, more than anything else, is what has hurt the Valpo Crusaders here.
Francis with 9 points. Morris with 13. Stovall rocking it in front. 14 seconds to go. Shot clock turned off. Buich, the runner off the glass, and it stays down.
Gus, he has got a nice-looking offensive game.
And Gary Williams calls timeout with 5 seconds to go. His team up by 10.
At 6 feet 10, 240 pounds, Buich has a nice, fluid game.
A look at the tournament summary. 5 teams are making their first appearance in the NCAA tournament. Samford, Arkansas State, Florida A&M, Kent, and Winthrop. Big Ten with 7 invitations. ACC, surprisingly, only 3 teams in the tournament.
Gus, the most interesting thing about this tournament, in my opinion, is I think the Big Ten is deserving of all 7 of those bids. But as you look at the brackets, every Big Ten team except Michigan State, I think, has a heck of a hard first game.
And that is the end of the first half of play with the score. Maryland leading Valpo by 10, 46-36. Now let's go to Greg Gumbel standing by in New York.
All right, Gus and Dan, thanks very much. So a 10-point halftime lead for the Terps over Valparaiso. Let's check in now at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis, where Oklahoma State has the lead on Syracuse. First round action in the South. Sean McDonough and Bill Raftery.
Just under 2 minutes left in the first half. Oklahoma State leads by 8. The Cowboys jumped off to a 6-0 lead, and they have not trailed in this first half. They're getting tremendous play from the tandem of Desmond Mason and Adrian Peterson, who combined for 29 of their 31 points.
Gallagher just got a little too deep there, and not a good kick here. Atkins saying it was deflected. Jim Boeheim more upset than I've seen him.
This is first round action in the South region. The game coming up next is Auburn, the #1 seed, against Winthrop tonight. Ohio State against Murray State, and then the final game of the day here, UCLA against the Titans of Detroit. Jason Hart for Syracuse. That's a 3, and he has buried 3 of those in the first half and has 13 points.
What a nice little screen to set him free, and he's a little pumped up as he goes to the bench. Jim Boeheim going after Damone Brown for his lack of reaction on the defensive end. He is livid. Now, generally placid, under control, much like ourselves.
Yes.
Understated. But this is the kind of juice that when he gets after his team like this, I think they respond.
Jim Boeheim now 54 years old in his 23rd season as head coach, but he's been at Syracuse and a part of the basketball program since 1962 when he arrived as a student. He's been involved in over 1,000 games at Syracuse. Today is game number 1,025. As a player, an assistant coach, a head coach, looking for career win number 550 as the head coach. Only 4 coaches in the country. There's his lovely wife, Julie. The only 4 coaches in the country with a better winning percentage are Roy Williams, Jerry Tarkanian, John Press, and Rick Majerus.
He's talking to the huddle because Julie doesn't let him say much at home. But just think he was Dave Bing's sidekick. And once again, Gottlieb with a wonderful look. He passes great with either hand. Mason filling the jar.
With 18 points. The average is 15 per game. 7-point lead for Oklahoma State in the final minute of the half. Etan Thomas off a nice entry pass from Ryan Blackwell.
And Sean Weber had done a great job initially on Thomas, but his strength pushed him away. He reset and they found him.
They can just about take the last shot of the half. The shot clock about a fraction of a second off the game clock, as you see.
I would think Gottlieb would eventually end up and make a penetrating kind of a move.
Stripped by Hart. 4-on-1 for Syracuse. Hart tipped up and in by Damone Brown.
That's the way they're going to fast break. Numbers finish just in case the miss occurs.
Oklahoma State led throughout the first half, and Desmond Mason was incredible. But as they go to the locker room, their lead is down to 3, and Syracuse with some momentum on the fast break points when it looked like Oklahoma State would have the last shot of the half.
Maybe that little 22nd when Jimmy got after them, a little spark, they were much more aggressive.
Mason with 18, Peterson 13, Jason Hart led Syracuse with 13, Etan Thomas had 10. Here's Michelle Tafoya.
All right, with Eddie Sutton, coach, neither team shooting particularly well, and turnovers have been a problem. How do you solve that one?
I think it's been a little sloppy this first half. I thought we had a pretty good lead there and just let the game get away from us in the last minute there. We should have a bigger lead than what we have, but we're just going to have to make a couple of corrections at the defensive end and also at the offensive end.
Yeah, while at Oklahoma State, you've never lost a first-round game. How do you keep that trend in line?
Well, we're in good shape. We're 3 points better than we were when we started the game.
Good luck. Thanks. Back to you, Sean.
Coach Sutton 6-0 at Oklahoma State in first-round game. At the end of the first half, his team leads 33-30. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
Some people like theirs strong.
It's March Madness time, Samo.
Nothing but net.
Catch Sammo Hung and Arsenio Hall in the action series Martial Law.
Nothing but net.
CBS Saturday.
John Larroquette returns to television as Pain. Series premiere CBS Monday. It's time to get out and play. Now get $1,000 cash back or 0.9% APR financing on Ford Ranger or 4.9% APR on F-Series. Improve your outside game in a tough Ford truck.
For 0.9 financing or $1,000 cash back on Ranger, visit your local Ford store today.
My prayer is to linger with you at the end of the day in a dream that's divine.
The 1999 Lexus ES 300. More powerful than ever, without losing so much as an ounce of civility.
Two games at halftime and another in progress. We'll get you caught up on all that's happening as we welcome you back to the road to the Final Four.
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Welcome back, everyone, to our studios here in New York. Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg. A couple of games at halftime, and we'll bring you up to date now. First of all, in the Orlando Arena, first-round action in the South, and Maryland with a 10-point lead on Valparaiso. Cinderella's got a little ways to go to make it this time around.
Well, if they would have handled the ball a little better in the first half, they showed they could get shots against the pressing Maryland Terrapins, but they had too many turnovers, and Maryland made them pay on most of them.
Maryland shooting 61% in the first half of this game so far, and the Terps 25-0 when leading at halftime this season. Meanwhile, first round in the South, Indianapolis, Oklahoma State, and Syracuse, and right now it's the Cowboys by 3.
It's actually two guys for Oklahoma State, Mason and Peterson, against Syracuse. Those guys have all but 2 of the points for Oklahoma State, but Eddie Sutton feeling pretty good that they're on top by 3 at the half.
All right, our first round game in progress right now is at McNichols Arena in Denver, where UAB is taking on Iowa, and the Hawkeyes lead it. Let's join Ian Eagle and Jim Spanarkel.
32-26, Iowa with the lead over UAB. And the Hawkeyes shooting 10 of 12 from three-point range. No points in the paint. That has been the story for Iowa. UAB has stayed in this game behind the play of Fred Williams. 15 points, but he's been quiet of late.
He sure has been. They started to ride him early in this game with UAB, with Williams, and has quieted. They found him a little better.
Lursman comes up short from the outside, rebounded by Willie Mitchell. Corey Ward will get it across for UAB, trailing by 6. It's been a close game throughout. On the turnaround, Dwayne Brown can't connect.
Not their forte, the half-court offense, UAB, and they're struggling with it right now.
Jason Smith.
See if they can get one and go right here. Iowa back pretty quickly defensively, so when their shots are going up, Iowa, one of the key things, and John Chaney with Temple does this very, very well, they have balance on the floor all the time, so they're not giving up fast break opportunities.
On the interior, Brown is fouled, and he's going to the free throw line at the 4:47 mark of the first half. This, the first of 4 games here in Denver, Colorado today. Wrapping up with UConn and Texas San Antonio. Connecticut, the #1 seed out west. Arkansas Siena coming up, and that should be an exciting game back and forth. 2 teams with similar styles. Right now, though, it's Iowa and UAB. First ever meeting for these 2 teams. Brown at the free throw line comes in shooting at 59%. And some wholesale changes for Iowa, with McCausland coming back onto the floor along with Duez Henderson, and J.R. Koch returns for the Hawkeyes. Another free throw for Dwayne Brown, a co-captain, a senior, out of Bessemer, Alabama.
So we'll keep you updated as always on that action. Iowa Hawkeyes leading UAB by 4. Those of you awaiting second half action in Orlando, we will send you back to Gus Johnson and Dan Bonner. Maryland with a 10-point lead thanks to the likes of this. It's worth a look. Steve Francis,
Pennzoil at the half has been sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Every 10 seconds or so, a stop sign goes up somewhere in America. And every 30 seconds, a traffic light goes up. It's as hard on your car as it is on you. It's stop and go. Stop and go. Stop and go driving. Use Pennzoil, formulated for today's stop and go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
College costs money. That's why I'm getting a basketball scholarship. It's gonna be hard work, but I'll get there. People say I'm too short. Too short like a fox. Oh, I have game.
You may never get an athletic scholarship, but call now to find out how last year 7 out of 10 full-time students received other kinds of aid, more than $60 billion in all.
I carry these guys a little bit. You can't stop me. You can only hope to contain me.
Here's some food for thought. A little bit of guidance from the citizenship through sports alliance. When you're on the field, keep one thing in check. Be a good sport and focus on respect. Respect? That's right, ain't it a trip? It's all about teamwork and sportsmanship. When you're on the court, use your intellect and be a good sport. Focus on respect.
I'm Sid Dempsey, president of the NCAA, and I want you to focus on respect.
A coach is there for guidance. A coach is there to give hope. A coach is there with answers. That's what the American Cancer Society is for people who are battling cancer. A coach in the most important game of all. Life.
Hope, progress, answers.
These two young private eyes have what it takes to be heroes. Maybe it's because they learned from the best.
Can't beat that.
Chuck Norris guests on an all-new Sons of Thunder, CBS Saturday.
Led by Steve Francis and Terrence Morris, Maryland leads it by 10. We'll return to Orlando after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching CBS Sports, exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship.
Cellular One was one of the first to bring you a cell phone. We'll be the first to bring it to everyone.
Thanks for making CBS America's most watched network. Welcome home.
Time is 7:41 a.m.
I'll be there in a sec.
Degrees this morning.
UPS makes more on-time morning deliveries than anyone. Call 1-800-PICK-UPS.
I needed a good pre-owned car for college. So I took my dad to someone we trusted, our local Ford store. They handpick only the best pre-owned vehicles and give them a 100-point inspection by Ford-trained technicians. That's what the Ford Quality Certified sticker means. Dad bought cars here before, and I know my Ford store will be here tomorrow to stand behind me.
Ford Quality Certified. It's the only way to buy a pre-owned vehicle. Visit your local Ford store today.
Who called this meeting? I'm out of here.
flight 240. This is air traffic control. We got a customer call for a pickup at 350 Main, Suite 200.
Roger that, control. We're on our way.
For on-call air pickup service and guaranteed delivery, call 1-800-PIC-UPS.
CBS Sports, exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship, is sponsored by the new Chevy Silverado, Propecia, Cellular One, and by Kinko's.
And welcome back to the Orlando Arena, where Maryland leads Valparaiso by 10. Gus Johnson along with Dan Bonner, and Maryland's athleticism really a big factor in the first half.
Gus, as we expected it would be, but interestingly, it hasn't been stealing the ball necessarily. It's been their work on the offensive boards. Maryland doing a great job with 9 offensive rebounds.
All right, a look at the first half statistics.
Maryland doing a dynamite job on the inside, where you would expect the taller Crusaders to dominate, but Maryland with 32 points in there. Maryland, their pressure did have an impact, simply not as big as we expected, but Maryland really getting it done on the inside. Gus, keep also in mind that Valpo started the game shooting 10 of their first 11, but they only made 4 of their last 17.
Inside, Baxter won't go. Morris with the tip in.
And that's exactly what we were talking about, Gus. Maryland gets the ball inside. Valpo makes a nice defensive play to block it, but Maryland gets the offensive rebound and sticks it right back in the basket.
Morris had 13 in the first half. Now he has 15. Stovall, Luboš Barton passing up the jumper, along with Tonigal, Vujic, and Viskovic for the Crusaders. Inside, Viskovic seals, stripped away. Brought it down too low.
And Stokes trying to pass the ball out, and he did a great job. He threw it right to Homer Drew. The problem is when you throw it to any of the coaches, whether it's your coach or the other coach,
that's not legal.
The other guys get the ball.
So Valpo, they've played some tough teams this season. Seton Hall, Illinois, beat South Carolina, beat Seton Hall. Also, they played Purdue.
Gus, you talked at halftime about Maryland's athleticism, and you're seeing their quickness right now. Quick hands knocking the ball away. Valpo with 2 to shoot.
Vujic. And he's hammered. He is hammered. Good call. Terrence Morris leaned into him.
Gary Williams not happy with his team's play in that particular instance. This is all Valpo can do, is throw the ball inside, throw it up to one of their big guys, and hope he can get off the shot. And Maryland committed a foul they did not need to commit.
So Ivan Vujic, a 6'10", 240-pound junior from Split, Croatia, is at the line. He's left-handed, and he transferred from Vincennes Junior College, which is in southern Indiana. And he's a very mobile 6'10" guy, as we have seen so far. And the second free throw pops out. Freshman Baxter with the rebound. Stokes quickly into the front court.
And that's what Maryland likes to do, Gus, is to get it quickly into the front court.
Terrence Morris, the silky touch from 12 feet on the baseline. And he has 17. Maryland up 50-37.
And now with the half-court pressure.
Viskovic deals it down. Vujic lays it up and in, plus the foul.
There's that mobility we were talking about. Vujic able to catch and go right to the basket. And this is what Homer Drew's crew needs to do. If Maryland is going to press, make the pass, reverse it to the other side of the court, and make Maryland pay for pressing by scoring easy baskets.
Baxter, his 3rd foul, he got over late and checks out of the game. Martisic back in the game. For Maryland, Vujic looking to complete the conventional 3-point play. And he does. 10-point game once again. Morris. Drop it, and he knocks it out of bounds. Now look at the bracket here in the South region in Orlando.
Very interesting bracket. The winner of this game will face Louisville and Creighton. That's our next game here in Orlando. Those are 2 teams that like to get it up and down. That Indiana-George Washington game ought to be very interesting. And Samford, one of those teams in the NCAA tournament for the first time, facing a real tough opponent out of the Big East in St. John.
Back
Backdoor, Stovall inside, missed the bunny. And Martisic with the rebound.
Gus, that was one of those close shots that was not an easy shot. Good defensive pressure by Maryland.
Backdoor Martisic. And a rebound to Vujic. Rubos Barton. Looking inside, Viskovic turns. This kid's got a nice game.
Gus, here they come again. Homer Drew was worried lest Maryland blow out in the first 5 minutes of the second half to a much bigger lead, a lead that would be insurmountable, but Valpo has not permitted that to happen. They've cut into the lead.
He's got 12, and that young man, Viskovic, has been playing with some serious back problems.
Viskovic commits the foul down on the other end, but Viskovic, Gus, he does a great job. He's got nice hands inside, clears out a little bit with the one arm, but that was really tough. He had to dribble the ball and keep it away from the defender while he did it.
Suffering back spasms during the Mid-Continent Conference Tournament Championship. Matter of fact, his back was so bad one time at lunch, he was forced to eat his lunch standing up. It's a 6'11" guy. That's awfully difficult.
6'11" guy, you need a big room for that.
8-point lead for Maryland.
Gus, Maryland a little sloppy with their ball handling here in the second half. Turned it over a couple of times now. 3 turnovers already in the second half for the Terrapins.
Pull-up jump shot, Barton. Rebounded by Vujic, and a new shot clock. So Valpo also crashing the offensive glass. Vujic leans in, and an offensive foul. Martisic did have position. Saturday on CBS, martial arts superstar Sammo Hung and Arsenio Hall are kicking the fun back into Saturday night. Join the LAPD's dream team in the action series Martial Law Saturday. Now that is one of my favorite shows. Sammo Hung is the man. He can really do it. Jackie Chan plus about 50 pounds. Francis, guarded by Tonigal, lost the dribble, and it fumbles it out of bounds.
Gus Francis, in the midst of that dribble, turned around and said something to the referee and lost his concentration. He turned around, he said something to the referee. I think he felt like Tonigal was pushing against him, and when he turned back to the basketball, he couldn't control it. 4 turnovers in the second half now for Maryland.
Rubos Barton for 3.
You just get the feeling that Maryland is providing Valpo with some opportunities.
Maryland, they have had problems in the past in early round games. Barton, skip pass, Stovall, Viskovic, shovels it inside, bad pass, Tonigal picks up the loose ball, Viskovic again, wheels baseline, off the glass and in.
Gus, that's what your 6'11" guy needs to be doing with the ball, not passing it to the 6'3" guy.
Nice looking play for the senior from Croatia.
Gus, and they've got it back to a 6-point lead.
Valpo on a 7-0 run, but Steve Francis answers with the 3 ball. Francis with 12. Back up to 9. Viskovic. Rims out.
Guess he didn't get himself stopped in the lane. Nice passing, however, by Valpo.
Profit to the hole. Counted and the foul. Laron Profit, senior from Charleston, South Carolina, played high school ball in Delaware.
Gus, Profit is really a guy who can play with the basketball in the open court. Nice crossover dribble, really freezes Barton, gets it into the lane. That's now 4 fouls against Barton, but that is just the quickness of Profit with the dribble. I think he surprised Barton. Barton turned his back into Profit, committed the foul.
Free throw no good for Laron Profit. 55-44, Maryland leading Valparaiso. 15-11 to go in the second half of play, and a reaching foul. Up top, Steve Francis trying to pick the pocket of Milo Stovall. Francis, that's his second.
Number 23.
So Maryland extending that lead once again. They're up 55-44.
Are you concerned about losing more hair? Do you wonder how much further it will go? Do you wish you could do something about it? Well, there's a pill for men with certain types of hair loss. It's called Propecia. In clinical studies, the vast majority of men, 83%, maintain their current hair count, and most, 66%, regrew some hair. Take it daily and you could see results in as little as 3 months. Propecia is for men only. A small number of men experience certain sexual side effects. Each occurred in less than 2% of men. Women who are or may potentially be pregnant must not use it or handle broken tablets because of the risk of a specific kind of birth defect. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist and read the consumer information they can provide. Propecia, helping make hair loss history.
Give it up. Your Colonel's got the moves this NCAA season, because my popcorn chicken's back at KFC. Crunchy morsels of tender white meat. Try some for $1.99. Go Colonel, go Colonel. The Colonel, he the man.
I'm gonna raise you.
Fold. Too rich for me.
Not fold.
Call. A couple of things to remember. 1, a full house always beats 3 of a kind. And 2, the new Chevy Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any pickup. Chevy Silverado. It's the truck.
Shut up.
Craig, I don't know.
Fair enough. Maybe this'll help. As you can see, I love you more than anything in the world. Note the dramatic increase in the past 7 months. This shows how much we have in common. My 10-year gross earnings potential. A composite of what our kids might look like.
I like what you've done here, Craig.
Sometimes it's not just what you say, but how you say it. Kinko's. Express yourself.
Finally, a hotel where you can laugh without reservations.
Garrett?
Thank you very much.
John Larroquette is Pain. Series premiere CBS Monday after Raymond.
One of the greatest players all time, Julius Erving, checking out the game here in Orlando. And near the conclusion of every NCAA tournament game, we select our Chevrolet most valuable players of the game from each team. Today, Chevrolet has contributed over $7 million to the scholarship funds of America's colleges and universities. So Dr. J is in the house. 15:04 to go, second half. 11-point lead. 11-point lead for Maryland. They have been crashing the offensive boards, had 10 in the first half of play. And that's been the difference so far. Very quick jumpers on the offensive glass.
Gus Valpo shot the ball very well early in the game, but as their shooting has cooled off, Maryland has stretched out the lead.
Tonigal, rebounded by Morris, outlet pass. Francis crosses over, deals it down. Miller, great layup up and in.
Gus, and another fine outlet pass by Terrence Morris. Maryland really hasn't been able to create a lot of transition from their defense with steals, but they've done a nice job getting the ball quickly out to the lane, out in the lanes on fast breaks.
Largest lead of the game for Maryland, 13 points. 57-44, Tonigal. And usually when Valpo needs a basket, they go right inside to Viskovich.
And this is a critical point in the game for Valpo, Gus. They really do need to score.
Jenkins misses. Francis the other way. (57-44). And right now, Valpo really needs a bucket. Maryland starting to run away with it, and a foul on the baseline against the Terps.
Foul is on number 5, Juan Dixon, his third.
Stovall doing a nice job penetrating to the basket. Valpo doesn't want to get caught up in just staying out on the perimeter. They need to continue to attack to try to get the ball inside.
Maryland on a 7-0 run. And a 20-second timeout called by Torrance Price.
20-second timeout.
Now let's take a look at the other side of the South bracket in Indianapolis.
And that's a very interesting bracket as well, Gus. You look at that UCLA-Detroit game. Detroit, a very hard-nosed team with a lot of really tough guys playing guard.
Perry Watson, their head coach, a former assistant at Michigan for the Detroit Titans.
And we were talking earlier about the Big Ten and the teams that they drew in this tournament. Murray State, an outstanding team. Tavester Anderson at age 62, his first head coaching assignment. And Murray State is going to be a tough one for Ohio State. And then Auburn, the #1 seed in whom no one believes. They get their tournament started against Winthrop.
Terrence Price loses it out of bounds. 12 turnovers for the Crusaders. They're down 57-44. A #2 seed, Maryland, against the 15, Valparaiso. Morris for 3. Rebounded by Viskovich.
Game has slowed down a little bit in terms of offensive production, Gus. Neither team scoring the last few trips.
Viskovich, pump fake, stripped away by Miller. Stokes. Maryland with numbers. Skip pass. And Juan Dixon knocks it down. The freshman. 60-44.
Just 10 points in a row now by Maryland. Valpo had it down to a 6-point lead, but a 3 by Francis, a 3-point play by Profit. And now the big jumper by Juan Dixon, who's an outstanding 3-point shooter. Maryland getting great contributions off their bench today.
Gary Williams compares Dixon to Walt Williams and Jay Burson. Burson he had at Ohio State. Donegal up top. Artisich with the rebound in terms of shooting the basketball. Here he is again. Baseline. Elevates. Short arms it. Ball tipped around. And Dixon with the rebound.
Gus, he came all the way across the court to get that ball. Maryland doing a great job getting after the ball. For Valpo, they're one and done. Maryland really owning both ends of the court here in terms of the rebound.
For Valpo, this is their 4th straight trip to the NCAA tournament, and they come into this game hot, winners of their last 6. Stovall, rise and fire, and it rattles down.
Boy, and that was one they needed desperately, Gus. Now they've got to get a couple of defensive stops, string them together, get a little run of their own goal.
And a nice play by Jenkins to step in the passing lane and knock it out of bounds. 11 minutes, 36 seconds remaining in the second half. Maryland up 60-47.
Retirement, college.
Short-term thinking left your future looking sketchy? Perhaps it's time to draw on a little long-term investment discipline from Kemper. Like Kemper Contrarian Fund, where $10,000 in 1988 would have grown 4 times by last December. Not a bad figure. Ask your advisor about the thinking behind every Kemper fund. Long-term investing in a short-term world.
Willie. It's go time.
Hey. That creepy mouse with the goggles is back in my apartment. Really? Can I hang here?
Absolutely. With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
I used to be a car racer.
Oh, wow.
How's Max doing?
He's doing okay. So how long before Max can play again?
Well, the vet said Max will be back to his old self in a couple of days.
Even the interior of the Chevy Blazer was designed to make you feel at ease. A little security in an insecure world. Chevy Blazer, like a rock.
Used to be the harder the ball, the farther it went. Not anymore. This is the new Top Flight XL 2000. It's got titanium in the cover for explosive distance. On an average par 4, that's 10 yards longer from tee to green. Thing is, the XL 2000 has an amazing soft feel. Softness you can feel and hear. Close to the green? How about close to the pin? The all-new Top Flight XL 2000. Explosive distance, amazing soft feel. It's the best XL I've ever played.
Coming this May, the television event of the year. Joan of Arc, a world premiere this May on CBS.
The game summary, Maryland with 16 second chance points. They've also dominated in the paint, 36-24.
Gus, it's been a very interesting second half in particular. Maryland has continued to shoot the ball very well, and Valpo has really cooled off. They made 10 of their first 11 shots, but they're only shooting 44% now. And so Maryland, as Valpo has continued to miss, Maryland's done a nice job on the defensive boards. They've been able to get some transition going.
And that's the surprising thing. Coming into this game, Maryland, the smaller team, and you expected Valpo to probably make a bigger mark on the rebounding side.
Again, it's been Maryland's quickness in there, Gus, that has really done the job. Maryland quick jumpers. They've been able to get 2 balls that Valpo's just been a little bit slow trying to track down.
Bounce pass inside, Baxter, back out to Morris, and he's fouled on the release.
And another thing that Maryland has done very well today, Gus, is move the ball against the Valpo zone. Maryland has been able to find the open positions in there early in the game. Homer Drew was doing a nice job changing the defenses, but Maryland sort of has it figured out now.
And Morris misses the first free throw. Super sophomore Terrence Morris from Frederick, Maryland. First team All-ACC along with Profit. That only happened one other time for the Terrapins when John Lucas and Len Elmer were first team All-ACC back in the 70s. Price slicing. Excuse me, Francis All-ACC along with Morris. Profit third team. Here's Barton.
Yes, it's only a 14-point game. Valpo is not out of it yet.
Lubosh Barton playing with 4 fouls in the corner, and it rims out. Rebounded by Jenkins, and he's fouled.
Gus, for the most part in the game, it's been Maryland doing the damage on the offensive boards, but Jenkins that time got inside position. Keep in mind, Morris is 6'9", but he only weighs 205 pounds, and Jenkins, a 220-pounder, did a great job getting position.
Jenkins good on the first. Saturday on CBS, meet 2 private eyes who have learned from the best, from the producers of Walker, Texas Ranger. It's the next generation of justice, an all-new Sons of Thunder, with special guest appearances by Chuck Norris, Saturday on CBS. 61-49, approaching the 10-minute mark of the second half of play. Maryland seeded number 2, Valparaiso seeded number 15. Francis around the corner, got the step, no look pass, stolen away by Lubosh Barton. Barton, Vujic. Here come the Terps, bounce pass, Profit, and it's blocked by Barton, but goaltending is the call.
Gus, against a team like Maryland, you just can't be forcing things on the offensive end. Vujic didn't control that ball and then got it knocked away, and that helped Maryland for the fast break.
Full court pressure now, Profit guarding the ball for Maryland. They fall back in the man-to-man.
You make a mistake against Maryland, you expect to see those white shirts headed the other direction quickly.
Price. And out of bounds, last touch by the Terps. Right now, Torrance Price, he has forced his last 2 shots.
Trying to make something happen, and what they've got to do, Gus, is move the ball, get it inside and get it back out. I think they need to try to create some open 3-point shots, but they're not going to do that unless they get the ball inside and kick it back out. You're not going to be able to take it on the dribble all the way against Maryland.
Milo Stovall. Jenkins around the screen, picks it up. Jenkins, pull-up jump shot off the front of the rim. And rebounded inside by the Terps, and a foul. Now don't forget, coming up next, we continue the road to the Final Four, the second game, Gonzaga, Minnesota. And some interesting things developing with Clem Haskins' Golden Gopher squad. Creighton, Louisville, Winthrop, Auburn, and Siena, Arkansas.
It's very interesting listening to Greg and Clark talk about the timing of that. Those reports from Minnesota with the kids maybe involved in that academic scandal and the problems that is going to create for the Gophers.
9 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the second half. Maryland leads at 63-49 every time Maryland tries to just blow the game wide open. Valpo answers. So they have tried their best to keep this thing close. Inside, Watkins leans in, and he's fouled.
Gus, that is twice today that Maryland has been able to enter the ball on that underneath out-of-bounds play, right underneath the basket for a layup. The first time in the first half they scored an easy basket. That time they got a foul.
Sends Brian Watkins to the line, 6'9" senior from Nashville, Tennessee. Torrance Price with his third.
Watkins is a guy who really saw his minutes go up, Gus, when Akese went down with the injury, and Watkins has played a lot today.
So Maryland as a team, they shoot 70% from the free throw line. Second one good for Brian Watkins. Maryland gets back into the press. Francis jumping Stovall.
And that's the second 10-second violation of the game forced by the Maryland pressure.
Mary Williams not happy. Back to Orlando after this.
A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS Sports.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
The new Silverado interior is so big, there's plenty of room for seating. And, in a pinch,
Mommy said I could ride the pony.
ample room for sleeping. Introducing Silverado, the truck from Chevrolet.
Do you know how to drive? How to say, hey, that's a foul in Japanese? Do you know where in the heavens to find a human voice? Where in your soul to find character? Do you know the shortest distance to a college degree is a straight line called discipline? Do you know how to walk it? Be all you can be.
Walk over there and I'll take a picture.
The incredible power of Duracell Ultra.
Oh, that's lovely, Doreen. That's lovely. Wait a minute. By the statute.
Cameras get faster flashes, up to 100 more pictures.
That's it. Lovely. Let yourself go.
Duracell Ultra, with a concentrated power force to give more life to your high-tech devices.
Oh, yes. Work it. Work it. Let me get...
Duracell Ultra. More power, more life.
Give it up. Your Colonel's got the moves this NCAA season, because my popcorn chicken's back at KFC. Crunchy morsels of tender white meat. Try some for $1.99. Go Colonel, go Colonel. The Colonel, he the man.
Enterprise rent-a-car for my trip? Looks expensive.
It's not expensive, Mom.
They pick us up? Sounds expensive.
Pickup's free, Mom.
Well, if it's not expensive, why didn't I get a convertible?
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Greg Gumbel and Clark Kellogg in New York. We will take you away from the Orlando Arena for a moment, but keep you updated at the bottom of your screen while we check in Indianapolis. First round action, South Region, Oklahoma State and Syracuse, and the Cowboys still holding on to a 5-point lead.
They're trying to make it a wire-to-wire win, Greg, and they've been able to do it on the heels of what Mason and Peterson established in the first half when they scored all but 2 of Oklahoma State points. As a result, now they're spreading out the Syracuse defense, and they're getting some contributions from some other guys in and around the paint area.
Clark, you said it would be key as to what Tom Thomas's performance would be. And so far, 17 points, 5 rebounds. As we said earlier, not too bad for a guy with a bad hand.
The big fella needs some help. When you're double teamed down inside and he passes it out, guys have to be able to make perimeter shots. Griffin has struggled, as has Jason Hart. And you can't fault Thomas as we take a look. Damone Brown slipping in behind the defense. Nice dime from Jason Hart.
Meanwhile, in first-round action in the West, in Denver, UAB and Iowa, the Hawkeyes have now built a 10-point lead.
They've turned a couple of early second-half turnovers by UAB into baskets, and that's the cumulative effect of the pressure that Iowa throws at you. They come at you in waves. They keep the pressure on. You get a little careless with the ball, and they'll make you pay.
Plus, UAB with a problem here. They have run into a hot-shooting Hawkeye team from behind the three-point line. Iowa now 10 of 16.
Well, they've got a number of guys that can shoot the three-point shot. Kent McCausland has made 3 of those three-pointers.
It is still early in the second half, but Iowa now up 42-34, and UAB with a chance to bite back into the game. We'll keep you updated on that one. Right now, let's get you back to Orlando, where Valparaiso is trying to play catch-up with the Maryland Terrapins. Gus Johnson and Dan Bonner.
8:22 to go in the second half of play. It's all Maryland right now. They lead it 68-49.
I know a place.
Americans love scenery. We can't get enough of it. We don't care how far it is. We want to see it all. Good thing there's Chevy Malibu, a car designed to take us anywhere and back. It'll actually go up to 100,000 miles before its first scheduled tune-up. That's a lot of vacations and a lot of souvenirs. So take the long way home. It's the car you knew America could build. Malibu, genuine Chevrolet.
I'll take you there.
If you're the kind of person who'd rather tune an engine than eat, who reads a tachometer like a love story, for whom the roar of fully blown horsepower is a lullaby, have we got a machine for you. And in the hands of the right mechanic, it'll blow the doors off anything. Aim high, Air Force.
When Diane initially came into the office, her time horizon for investing her money was rather short-term.
It was right after college. I was going to turn over the money pretty quickly to pay for graduate school.
Since then, her objective has changed.
I've always had this kind of long-term goal in mind, which is starting my own business.
But that means actually invest more aggressively because her time horizon had lengthened. She knows herself. She knows her goals. She knows her tolerance for risk. She's learned about the tools that Schwab has to assist her in meeting those goals.
Hey, let's talk New York. Let's talk pizza. Let's talk big. Like the new Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. It's so big, it's got 3 zip codes. You need a road map to find your way across. It's so big, on the other side, it's almost Cleveland. It's a genuine street corner, 16-inch New York-style pizza with 8 big floppy foldable slices dripping with cheese and tomato sauce that's really, really good. At a price that's very un-New York, $9.99. $9.99. You can't even get a taxi for that price. The Big New Yorker pizza from Pizza Hut. The best pizzas under one roof.
I hog the bed.
Who will surrender first in the battle for the covers?
Joey Donut?
Everybody loves Raymond. An all-new episode, CBS Monday.
So Maryland holding a 68-49 lead on Valparaiso. Last year's Cinderellas are finding the uniform a little tight this time around. Welcome back to our studios here in New York, everyone. Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg. We'll keep an eye on that game, but we will take you now to Indianapolis for the action between Oklahoma State and Syracuse. And in this game, it bears repeating, Clark. Oklahoma State, a different team, it appears, than the one that lost the championship, the Big 12 game to Kansas a week ago.
Well, they're refreshed, and obviously they have their legs under them, and they've gotten great play from Adrian Peterson and Desmond Mason, and now they've actually led this from wire to wire right now.
Oklahoma State looking to rebound from a 53-37 loss to Kansas last Sunday. They lead at 55-49. Let's take you to Indianapolis and join Sean McDonough and Bill Radford.
6:08 remaining. Oklahoma State leads Syracuse 55-49. Syracuse has not had the lead in this game. And here's the bracket. South Regional action here in Indianapolis in the first round. Later today, Auburn and Winthrop tonight, Ohio State and Murray State, and then UCLA and Detroit. The last of the 4 games we played here was about 27,000 in attendance at the RCA Dome.
They're going to have to make shots, Syracuse, but they've got 2 great passers, Blackwell and Opchina, in the game. This may open it up for Thomas as well. Look at this kick. You got to make them, though.
Griffin seemed reluctant to shoot. Blackwell will try a 3. Alexander kept it alive. Threw it right to Griffin.
That's when he should have flipped down the other end of the floor.
The big difference in this game, Syracuse 3 out of 12 from three-point land, while Oklahoma State is 7 of 16. Griffin can't make one. Hart in among the trees, and he was bumped by Weber.
Oh, they're going to give him a foul on that one. Oh, he came down hard. So Weber's going to get a foul on this. Oh my goodness, little nickel dimer, small change. Oh, he got his foot caught in the back, and he's still moving around out at half court. Well, you hate to see your big guys get caught in a situation like this. I mean, he may have ended up, maybe his own guy stepped on it.
4 fouls now on Weber, so he's 1 away from being out of the ball game. It's a 17 foul. So a 1-and-1 for Hart, trying to shoot that free throw on a bad foot, and he missed it. He's a 74% free throw shooter.
Yeah, he's had trouble with the feet. The shoe came off in the first half.
Oklahoma State's gone 4.5 minutes without a field goal, but the Cowboys still lead by 6, and time is running out. Weber stripped by Hart. Griffin ahead for Hart all alone.
Well, I guess the foot is okay, Sean. A little 2-3 zone, that should not happen. Eddie Sutton not happy, not protecting the basketball properly for his Oklahoma State team.
John Lee looked to the sidelines. Eddie Sutton up off the bench, calling the offensive set. Desmond Mason dropped the pass but got it back. Alexander missed a 3. Battle for the rebound, out of bounds. Last touch by Mason.
Now you keep putting stress on the shooting. 54% from deep, Fred Sutton. It's tough to continue that all along. They're going to have to get Gottlieb to get in and selectively find passing lanes.
Well, Mason and Peterson have sizzled today. Alexander's had a bad day. 0 for 7 shooting, including 0 of 6 from three-point line.
See this 2-3. You can dribble, penetrate from the top. Nice high pass. You got to make 2 guys play 1, just like Hart does here. Good cut.
Blackwell. Walking foul called, and Weber's out of the game. That'll be his 5th.
He's so smart, Blackwell. Just the ability to find positions and holes in the defense, and that changes everything. We mentioned the little things that guys can do during the course of the game. Alex Webster can contribute in a silent way, except for coaches and teammates.
So Weber fouls out, 3 points, 2 rebounds, but a lot of the little things, the dirty work, to help Oklahoma State build this lead, and they're thin inside.
And Sean, that particular play, their thinness impacted by good ball reversal. Weber goes to one side. The zone switches as he doesn't get a good angle on the cut by Blackwell.
2 shots. Ryan Montanati is back in. He's not quite as big a body as Weber. 2 shots for Blackwell. He has 8 points today, now 9. And a junior from Pittsburgh, New York, making his 69th straight start today, majoring in child and family studies at Syracuse. Would like to be a coach. He's dabbled in acting. He's a big movie buff, particularly likes De Niro and Pacino, but he has appeared in some plays on the Syracuse campus.
Have you attended any? In our neighborhood, they would call him a thespian.
Yes.
Of sorts. And the 2-point guard mentality employed right now by Oklahoma State. You got Atkins and the constant there, Gottlieb.
All of a sudden, it's a 2-point game with 4 minutes to go. Largest lead for Oklahoma State, 9, and that margin's been between 4 and 8 for much of the game.
Good close by Blackwell. This is where he's tough. Look at this. Oh, is that great basketball? Does he know the game? Great delivery.
Doug Gottlieb to Desmond Mason. 10th assist for Gottlieb. He's turned it over twice. Great interior passing by Syracuse, and Thomas will go to the line.
That's what the weight room's for. Positions and situations like that. But at the other end, Doug Gottlieb, he's a wonder. Trying to find people in his zone. It takes a little talent, judgment, and some onions once in a while to make a pass like that. But the counter, pump it up, hit the bench press, and get to the free throw line.
Foul on Adkins, his second. 19 fouls, and the next one makes it a double bonus. Thomas now 1 out of 4 from the free throw line. Still Oklahoma State by 2. 3.5 minutes remaining.
I think Syracuse is going to have to play Doug Gottlieb man-to-man in this zone. Don't let him turn the corner. Look at this guy find people. Good trap.
Mason trying to dribble out of the double team. It rattled out. A tip by Montanati wouldn't go. And now 2 to tie and 3 for their first lead of the game for Syracuse.
That black ball really does circle well.
All right, Thomas, Brown for the tie. Syracuse even for the first time since it was 0-0.
How about that passing trip? Touch, kick, find, get the spot, stick it by Brown.
57 all with 2:35 remaining.
A little too bunched up here for proper spacing.
And a long 3 by Atkins. What a shot by Joe Atkins.
Oh, deep and large.
And his first points of the game for the junior from Oklahoma City.
And how about Eddie Sutton sitting on that? Had the 2 guys playing together earlier, opted late.
2 minutes remaining. Blackwell makes it a 1-point game.
That was NCAA basketball. Counter punching, sticking good shots, finding spots, guys stepping up large.
And a timeout called by Oklahoma State. It'll be a full timeout. 1:46 remaining. And the two teams matching each other with clutch shots. Oklahoma State leads by 1.
Good.
Sleek. Sophisticated. Stylish. And yet with an exhilarating V6. Chevy Monte Carlo lets you express that hidden part of your personality, just dying to get out.
Mr. Freeman. How are you?
Tommy? Monte Carlo. The side you show the world is up to you.
There's a boy outside. His name is Jim. He wants to know if I can play with him. Dance with him. Marry him. Can I? Daddy? Can I?
Visa Platinum. Exceptional credit limit. Visa acceptance for purchase power.
Daddy?
You can really use.
I'm a CEO. I'm accountable to my shareholders. So when we needed a server-based network for 16,000 people, I wanted someone who'd be accountable to me. Then Dell came to see me. Dell delivered exactly what they promised, business-critical servers. As CEO, you'd kill for an original thought, for someone to come to you with a solution, not a problem. I didn't get a computer from Dell. I got a partner.
Be direct. Dell. Dell computers use Intel Pentium 2 processors.
Mom, can I watch TV?
No, Billy. Do your homework.
It's too dark. Why can't we use electricity like the other kids?
Billy, you know we're trying to cut costs.
We've got plenty of candles down in the basement, son.
Billy?
It wasn't me.
Grandma.
I'm okay. I just walk it off.
How do you plan on saving money for the future? Conseco's wide range of financial solutions can help. Conseco, step up.
This is what it's all about. This is what you play for. I've waited 18 years for this moment. A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS.
Time to check the data bank. 1:46 remaining. Eddie Sutton, the only coach in NCAA history to take 4 different schools to the NCAA tournament. Arkansas, Creighton, Kentucky, and now his alma mater, Oklahoma State, for the 7th time. And this has been a memorable game for Coach Sutton and all concerned. Oklahoma State with the ball leading by 1 with 1:41 remaining. One leap to Peterson with Montanati, Atkins, and Mason.
Well, the deep shooting should open up some penetration or dump downs.
Montanati penetrates and hits a clutch shot.
I tell you, he showed some things in the tournament, Big 12, that proved he's got it.
8 points for Montanati. The lead 3 for Oklahoma State. Thomas fouled. And the basket doesn't count by Brown on the dunk, as Thomas was fouled by Montanati. That's his 3rd, and a double bonus now. CBS Sportsline stat of the game is 3-point field goals. Oklahoma State with a big edge there, having made 8 to 3 for Syracuse. For complete tournament coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com.
And Sean, the problem, 58% free throw shooter now. He's got to make some of these.
Thomas was 1 for 4 from the line today, 1 for 5.
Now you're going to him and you're riding him, but if he doesn't produce on the foul line, it almost causes you to look for other options.
And Syracuse just 8 out of 14 from the free throw line. That's 57% as a team. Julie Boeheim agonizing. One out of 2 for Thomas. It's a 2-point game with 1:11 remaining. And pressure in the full court from Syracuse.
See if they get a little trap, Sean, in any rotation. Too many people, they got numbers at the other end.
Brian Montanati scores as they handle the press beautifully, and Oklahoma State has a 4-point lead with under a minute remaining.
And Syracuse didn't press well either, Sean.
Blackwell, it wouldn't go. A big rebound for Alexander. Oklahoma State with the ball and a 4-point lead, and a foul committed by Damone Brown.
That's how fast it occurs. Make the free throw. The proper thing is to press, and 4 guys pressure in the backcourt. You got a 2-on-1 break the other way. Oh, is that disastrous?
A 1-on-1 opportunity on the 7th team foul. Glendon Alexander does not have a point today. His first trip to the line. There's his first point. He'd been on fire over the last 5 games. 65-60 now as you look at the vital numbers. 2 big free throws by the junior from Carrollton, Texas, Glendon Alexander. Syracuse needs to score quickly. Hart long with a 3. Thomas, the rebound, is being held by Montanati.
And what an effort by Montanati, too. Trying to make sure, playing smaller without Weber. Eddie Sutton, you can't blame him. You're going to stick a guy he wants over the top. But the point you made about scoring quickly, I'm not so sure it's like the quick chuck. It's like a pass, penetration, and kick to get an open look. They're going to play that 3-point line.
4 fouls on Montanati. Thomas back of the line with 20 points. Just 2 out of 6 from the free throw line. He'll shoot 2 with 36 seconds left. And Jim Boeheim has seen this before. Syracuse has had difficulty over the years from the free throw line, and it's plaguing them again today.
Sharp shooting, alert defensive Oklahoma State team.
Again, 1 out of 2.
Let's see how they react defensively here, Sean. They had too many people earlier. Watch for the home run pass.
Peterson gets it into Montanati.
They're going to jump ball.
And that should be a defensive tie-up. It is, so the ball goes over to Syracuse.
And this is one of the dilemmas for Eddie Sutton. At the end of a game, he can't have Gottlieb in because he shoots free throws so poorly that he doesn't have that guy with the head on the floor. I mean, it's one of those situations that, I mean, it's so difficult to figure out who should run the show. Atkins is the choice right now.
Gottlieb's a 45% free throw shooter. That's why he goes out in this situation. Syracuse down 5. Blackwell trying to make it 2. Rebound Mason. And fouled by Hart.
Trying to lengthen the game and give up the free throw. Don't make the shots. Can't get the press set.
What a day for Desmond Mason. Michelle Tafoya talked earlier about how Eddie Sutton said he's the guy who really needs to step up and overcome adversity. And we mentioned earlier his story. At age 3, Desmond Mason was sleeping in the back of his family's car when the car next to him had a radiator problem. The windows were open in the back seat. Steam and hot liquid came into the back seat of the car Mason was sleeping in, and he was burned over much of his body. Doctors told him, his family, that he probably would never be able to run, and he would not walk normally ever again. He was in the hospital for 3 months, but as he grew, his body recovered, and now he's a terrific player.
And what an outstanding afternoon for him. That shot on the bench tells you what winning's all about. Gottlieb and company regaling.
Oklahoma State by 7 with 22.5 remaining in Indianapolis.
Break through to the new world of Mach 3 from Gillette, the first triple blade shaving system. 3 blades specially positioned to shave progressively closer. You take 1 stroke, it takes 3. So you don't have to shave the same area over and over, which means less irritation. 3 blades, fewer strokes, less irritation. Mach 3 from Gillette.
You don't tell people you're #1.
Give me the house
I'll
sirloin.
have the house sirloin.
I always have the house sirloin. They tell you.
I'll have the house sirloin, please. Applebee's house sirloin.
America's #1 sirloin steak.
Nice.
Char grill.
Great.
Perfect.
Now that's a mouth-watering steak. Oh, yeah, that house sirloin.
Oh, so tender and juicy.
Really juicy.
Can't beat that.
6 other great steaks.
Don't miss them.
We didn't make it America's #1 sirloin steak.
I'll have the house sirloin.
You did.
Applebee's house sirloin, please.
The #1 reason you belong at Applebee's.
What do you want out of life? What do you imagine it to be? We're American General Financial Group, helping over 12 million people live the life they've imagined, with retirement plans, life insurance, and consumer loans. American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined.
I'm gonna raise you. Fold.
Too rich for me.
Not fold. Call.
A couple of things to remember. 1, a full house always means 3 of a kind. And 2, the new Chevy Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any pickup. Chevy Silverado. It's the truck.
Shut up. Officers Harm and Mack will go to the ends of the earth for justice. David James Elliott and Catherine Bell star. Jag, CBS Tuesday.
Oklahoma State is out of timeouts, but it really shouldn't matter unless disaster strikes the Cowboys as they lead by 7 with 22.4 seconds remaining. There is Patsy Sutton. Syracuse needs to score quickly, down by 7 in the final second. Blackwell well defended. Damone Brown, an errant 3. Rebound by Montanati.
As he stepped up for this team, they're trying to give the foul. They don't get it. Eton gives it away. Now Montanati, some good things and then some better things when Weber went out.
And a nice early 63rd birthday present given by his team to Eddie Sutton. Coach Sutton turns 63 tomorrow, and he's going to enjoy that birthday and the day in between games. His team's going to advance in the second round to meet the winner of the game coming up next year between Auburn and Winthrop.
Did you get the feeling he was very relaxed?
Yes.
This year, I think, made it that way for the Sutton family. His wife looking on, Patsy, of course, Sean on the bench. I guess when you've been in the wars as much as you learn how to duck a little, dodge a little.
Blackwell, a desperation heave that will not go. And Oklahoma State is now 7-0 in first-round games under Eddie Sutton. Oklahoma State eliminates Syracuse. The final score, the Cowboys 69 and the Orangemen 61. Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Desmond Mason of Oklahoma State, 28 points and 8 rebounds, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, and Etan Thomas of Syracuse, 21 points, 6 rebounds and 3 blocked shots. So Oklahoma State has advanced. The Cowboys will await the winner of the game next here in Indianapolis between Auburn and Winthrop. Once again, the final score, Oklahoma State 69, Syracuse 61. Will rejoin Greg Gumbel in our CBS studios after this.